guys, welcome back to another episode of What Shall We Do Next. As always guys, if you are new here, please subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the road to 25 million subscribers because earlier today we hit 24 million subscribers. So I would love you guys to join me on this journey. So please subscribe, become a What Shall We Do Next again, join the fam. I would love to have you guys be a part of this, man. I would love it. So please subscribe, and thank you all who have subscribed. And also guys, follow me on all my social media. Links are in the description. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Go follow me on everything. But today guys, as I said in yesterday's video, I know you guys prefer these kind of videos, so I thought I'd throw another one out for you guys. This is probably one of my favorite stories. So we're gonna jump right to Paranormal America. What's going on, you guys, and welcome to Paranormal America. So for this video, I'm telling you guys something pretty interesting, and it's actually still to this day one of the most mysterious deaths of all time. And I think this is one of my favorite stories because I've heard about this so much, and there's so many different theories. And the story I'm going to be talking to you guys about is the Elisa Lam story. If you guys haven't heard of her, I'm shocked, for one. But if you haven't heard of her, I mean, if you have heard of her, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't heard of her, then you should check it out. There are videos going around, thousands and thousands of theories. And there's also a video which shows her last moments on camera before she died that day. And basically, if you guys don't know the story of Elisa Lam, she was a 21-year-old Canadian from Vancouver, and she was traveling. She was going on a West Coast. She was a 21-year-old Canadian student. She was going on a West Coast, I think she called it West Coast travel or West Coast vacation or something like that, where she was going to see different parts of California. And so during her stay in California, she was visiting Los Angeles. Now, in Los Angeles, there's a hotel called the Cecil Hotel where she was she was residing at this hotel called the Cecil Hotel. Now, this hotel does have like some history to it. Apparently there's been a bunch of people dying from there, and people have died from jumping off the building. Apparently one time in the past it was actually called the Suicide Hotel or something like that because so many people were jumping off of it. And there's been a couple of other incidents I read about which happened at this hotel, but this has got to be one of the most mysterious stories. So I believe it was 3 years ago she was staying at this hotel, and during her stay she was actually in a shared room, kind of like a hostel room with other roommates, who complained about her, asked the manager or whoever worked at this hotel to get her a room of her own because she was acting strangely, very odd behavior. So they asked her to leave that room. She got a room of her own, and the next thing they know, there really wasn't much to it. Like, she frequently stayed in contact with her parents during this whole travel. And then this one day she didn't call them, which kind of sparked off, like, what's going on? But what happened was, nobody really knows what happened to her. But what you can find on the internet, pretty sure you can find it anywhere. Like, it's everywhere. You just go on YouTube and search it, Elisa Lam video, you'll find it. And basically, the last video ever found of her was a security camera in an elevator in that hotel. And she was getting in the elevator, she was pushing buttons and being kind of weird. Then she was hiding behind the wall as if she was hiding from somebody. The whole time, the elevator doors were open, which is kind of weird. Like, if you're pushing buttons, like if usually you press like 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever, the doors instantly close and you go to that floor. Not this time. For some reason, she was pushing all these buttons. It almost looked as if she was having some kind of like technical difficulties with the elevator, because she was pushing buttons like this and it wouldn't close. The elevator door didn't close. But then she started acting strange. It really looked strange. She was hiding as if she was hiding from somebody outside. in the hallway. She was walking out the elevator and like looking left, looking right, as if she was like spying on somebody or was trying to hide from somebody. And then she gets out the elevator and starts doing this with her hands, like she's doing weird hand movements. And it almost looks as if she's having a conversation with somebody, even though there's nobody else there. You can see her, and it looks like she's doing this, which I kind of find it hard to believe that maybe she was talking to somebody down the hall. I don't know, but she was kind of making hand gestures to somebody, but you couldn't see them in the camera, so they would have had to have been further down the hall. And I can't imagine not one person to walk past throughout this whole thing, because it was a 600 roomed hotel in Los Angeles, which is a busy place, you know, so I'm pretty sure there would have been people passing by that elevator every now and then. That's just what I would have thought, but apparently, according to the camera, she was the only one that was there the whole time, pushing the buttons, hiding from somebody, spying on somebody, and then doing weird hand gestures. She looked very strange, very strange. Then, the only reason they checked on that footage was because she was missing. She was actually missing, and people in the hotel they checked the footage after what happened. And what happened was the residents staying in this hotel were actually complaining the water had a funny color. The water was coming out like black and kind of nasty looking water. Other people were saying the water the water pressure is low, like they couldn't get any water to come out of their taps. Other people, this is the worst one, other people were saying the water tasted horrible and smelled bad. There's something wrong with the water. After all these complaints, the people who worked at the hotel said, right, something must be wrong. Let's go check it out on the roof. There's the water towers up there. This water tower, which is 10 foot or feet high, actually has like no ladder. Apparently there's no ladder around it. You would have needed a ladder to get to the top of it. This is what makes it so mysterious. You would need a ladder to get on top of it. And even if you did get on top of it, there's like, I can't remember the exact weight. I think it was like a 20-pound lid that you have to get off, which apparently when they opened the water tower, they needed like electric power tools to get it open. So the other thing is, to get to the water tower in the first place, to get onto the rooftop of this building, you need to have like a card that's saying that you work there. You get a card, like an access card, you can scan through. Also, there's security cameras. There's like, apparently if you go up, the doors are locked, so you need keys and stuff like that. Also, it sets off an alarm to anybody who's not a member of staff at this hotel. Opening that door, it will set an alarm off. None of that happened. As far as I know, I don't even think the door was unlocked. I don't understand that part. But as they opened, after power tooling this thing open, they get it open, they find her body, which the video on the elevator was 19 days before they found this body. So she had been in there for 19 days, completely naked with her clothes in there with her. So I can't understand how she got up to the roof, got through a locked door without alarms going off, got to the top of a 10-foot water tower without a ladder. Even when she got on top of that, I don't understand how she got this thing open when all these other guys couldn't get it open unless they had power tools. She somehow got into the water tower took her clothes off, and then had somehow got back up to close the thing behind her, even though she was probably so many feet down and probably had no way of climbing. There was probably no ladder in there to climb back to the top again. So somehow she put this 20 pounds lid back on. So it makes no sense. There's no way that, like, there's no rational explanation for that. Really confused me, really creeps me out. A lot of people say she was possessed. A lot of people, there's actually records saying that she was bipolar. She suffered depression, which bipolar alone can make you like go crazy sometimes, depending on the severity. Is that right? Severity. severity, I don't know, the severeness of it. Also, I'm kind of thinking like schizophrenia can like, or schizophrenia, however you pronounce it, schizophrenia. So it's that disease where like you kind of hear voices tell you to do stuff. Sometimes it's a really bad case of schizophrenia, and it can make you do things that is completely crazy. Like people who are schizophrenic are usually like in mental hospitals and stuff like that, depending on, like I said, the severeness of it. So I don't know, maybe there was something else that wasn't undiagnosed. People said she could have been murdered and thrown into the water tower. But apparently when they did like records on her, like tests and stuff, they said there was no signs of like harm on her at all. Other people said she could have been drugged up, but they also said there was no drugs, no alcohol, no nothing in her system. So it's a completely strange case. I don't know what it could have been, but it was really creepy, so I thought I'd talk about it with you guys. Let me know your guys' opinions. That's question of the day. What do you think happened to Elisa Lam that day? Let me know, and I'm going to ask my Magic 8 Ball. Magic 8 Ball, do you believe that Elisa Lam was possessed when she died? Cannot predict now. I guess some things are just better left unsaid, huh? Also, guys, to end the video, you guys know I've started this thing where I like to poison your minds with powerful knowledge so you don't have to go to school anymore. And I've started this thing called Random Fact of the Day. So today's random fact is... What is today's random fact? Oh, I got it. This one's pretty crazy. Like, I had a feeling this was true, but it was like, no, that can't be. But then it's true, apparently. The world's most common name is Muhammad. Like, Muhammad is the most common name. Like, personally, I don't know anybody named Muhammad, but I know it's like a Middle Eastern kind of name. And then when you look at like the records of like the Middle East, they do have like a huge population, and every time you see like a Middle Eastern, I don't know about you guys, but every time I've seen a Middle Eastern, their name always has the word Muhammad in it. So I guess it could be true. Like, Muhammad's the most common name in the world, I guess. I don't know. But let me know what you guys think. There you go. You got your random fact of the day, so you don't have to go to school anymore. But let me know the answer to the question of the day in the you know, the typey box place down below the comment section. So let me know down there, guys. I love all you guys, and remember to chase your dreams.